Warriors Unite! Back with another episode of Vigor Warriors 2 and the 1% Club. Hope you guys are doing well. Hope you guys are on your purpose. Hope you guys are continuing conquesting yourselves along with conquesting everything else around you. Busy time for Vigor Warrior 2. One of the things you can see is I shaved my beard. I actually promised my daughter, she's getting married this coming weekend. So just like my first daughter, I didn't have a beard back then, so I'm going to do it for 1 week. And I'm going to go back to the beard next week. But I have one more son, so if he gets married, I'll probably do the same thing at that point. So that's kind of why I have no beard at this point, my friends. But Warriors, continue. We got to continue to battle on, continue to fight to the end. All right, so let's go through some shout-outs real fast here, and then we'll do a great topic for today. Bobby Biscuit, thank you, my friend. Giodude, thank you, as usual. 589 Johnny, thank you. One day. Okay, thank you, my friend. Matt Monroe, thank you. 47 Roku U, thank you. Jimiature, thank you. Lukepaine, thank you, my friend. Tyrone Tyrone, thank you. Blingcheese, thank you. Bobby Biscuit again, that second one, thank you. Just Note, thank you. Alexander Sprout, 2 of them, thank you, Alexander. Lykkos, as usual, thank you. Konagama, thank you. Bastista Bomb, thank you. Mike Muscle TV, thank you. Gene M 1626, thank you. OIS ClaveOIS, thank you. Matt Monroe, second one, thank you, Matt. I appreciate that. Burn the Past, Create the Future, great name. I like that. And Amen, God First, another great name. So thank you guys so much. Our topic for today, at the 2-minute mark, we'll say, focuses on something from Maromaraster 6621. I like this comment that he's talking about. He says you need to build your energy while you're semen retention. I want to talk about that. I don't think it's a topic that I've actually approached before. So let's go ahead and talk about that aspect of it as we do this. Now, as we focus on going back to step 1, what is the reason why we're doing all this, Warriors? What is the reason why it's important for us to maintain our energy, to transmute it, to continue to build it up? What is the reason for all that? Let's kind of take a step back and we'll look at why we do all this. First of all, I think the biggest thing to think about is the fact is, what is the purpose you have? Each one of us have to kind of dissect and go through the process with our Creator. What is the purpose that we have in our life? Now, the purpose is many ways. Now, God has many purposes for us. But our first purpose, obviously, is to honor our Creator, build a relationship. Those who do not have that suffer through a lot of misery, other types of things, because they have nothing else to lean back on, nothing else to talk with when people let them down. And people will always let you down eventually. People are very self-centered. They're going to look out for their own interest in 99% of the cases. If you do happen to get people who are going to look out for you, that's wonderful. But that doesn't happen all the time. Most of the time it doesn't happen. So you have to have something that you can lean on, something, some person, some creator, and we talk about the creators being that person. Now, so as we take a step back, we have to have that in our life. That is very crucial, especially as we talk on Sunday about, having your God, having your Creator with you, being inside your Creator, having your Creator being inside of you, a co-creator. There's a lot of things we can talk about when it comes to creation and manifesting things and to try to build yourself up. But you have to first start with that. Now, once you have that, then the purpose becomes, what is the purpose? And I'll just talk to the males in this case, because most of our audience is males, and I've spent most of the time on this channel talking with males. Females have questions. I'm happy to address those and talk about those as well. But we're kind of focusing on the males here. So the males in our society, going back to the cavemen days, is very simple. We have 2 major roles that males have. We've had this since day one. The first role is to protect. So you have your wife, you have your significant person that you're with, and you have, your children. Okay? And that woman with you is the person you're protecting. That's always been the case. Mainly because men are stronger than women in 90% of the cases. Now, we can see things of how men are becoming weaker, but that's partly because society is kind of pushing us and brainwashing us into those type of things. But men, if you allow to keep all your energy forces within you, you are stronger than most people, most women around. So because of that, you become the protector. The other thing you have to do is you go out and provide. Well, you're not going to stay home and take care of children. Now, I know we have families out there that do that, but for the most part, what you're talking about is the male going out and providing. Now, this has been the case for thousands of years because of the physical nature of men. Now, what's changed over the last, I would say, 40, 50 type of years, the idea is that you're focusing really on looking at a change in society. And where does that change come from? Well, I believe the change came from a lot of people who wanted to change the way the world is to make this world weaker, to make this society, the United States, whatever you want to do, weaker, so that other people can take over it. It comes down to, again, power, and power corrupts. It comes down to people trying to take over countries. And so because of what's happened, the fact of the matter is that males have become weaker. Why? Well, because of pornography, because of images, all those things drain your energy. The same thing with stress levels, the fact that you look at society and you have to go ahead and have both people working to make ends meet, with the economy the way it is and all the use of debt and all this type of stuff we're talking about. You've had a lot of people who now have to work, males and females, in families. And so the males their roles become lessened on purpose, in my opinion. It doesn't have to be that way, but it is. And on top of that, what have you seen the opposite? You've seen males become weaker and become, because of this thing they call toxic masculinity, which is really ridiculous. And you have toxic femininity as well. But toxic masculinity has been taught to a lot of men like it's something wrong with that. Well, that's nothing wrong with it at all. In fact, what you should have is masculinity. You should be masculine. And there is no, I saw something on TV or something like that, the new age of masculinity. That's a bunch of BS, right? That is a bunch of BS sitting there. I mean, men need to be strong. And you can't be emotional when you're strong. You can have passion. You can have, strong nature. But you can't be emotional enough not to make decisions that are logical. Men, the biggest thing with men is that the fact is that they're able to control their emotions. Well, we go back to the reason why that's the case. That's the case because you're holding your energy in. You're conserving your energy. You're building your energy up. And now you're not just going to get upset at the slightest whim. You're not getting angry at people. You're not blown off the handle. You're not getting frustrated because you've released 5 times during a day. All right? And there's a high correlation between that, by the way. Being able to control your emotions, holding things in, not getting as upset, not being scared, not being fearful. There's a lot of connections there between that and retention. And when you're retaining and you're transmuting and you're building up your energy over time, you become a lot less fearful. You become a lot less scared, and therefore you become a lot less frustrated. You know you're going to be able to handle situations. You can handle any situation you get. And so therefore, you don't have a need to get this upset. And so you're not going to lose energy out of emotions of anger and things like that. You can let women and children be angry all they want, all those kind of things. Women are very highly emotional, and there's a good reason. The nurturing process, all these things are important to females. And females are wonderful. There's a great purpose, I think, the Creator has for females, as he does for males. But males cannot afford to get upset. They cannot afford to be emotional. They cannot afford to have this high level of empathy to the point where they can't make decisions. They can't do things. As a result of this, when you see those type of people, and a lot of this is diva behavior looking at, they're angry. Well, of course they're angry, because they know down deep in their heart they shouldn't be this way. But they're choosing this be this way because they somehow think this is the way it should be. And I go back to this whole thing about if you're brought up in an environment that this is what you're taught, I'm not totally blaming that person 100%. Now, they can make a change, but the problem is you have to see enough of the other side, of the regular side, to be able to change. If you're brought up in a family with only females, which a lot of young males are, they're not getting the male role models they need. And so they're going to be feminine. Unless they have a male role model that's significant, they're going to be feminine. And they're going to look at things to try to be males and try to look and see, how can I be more of a male? This becomes a huge issue because then the males then may have families, may have kids, they may do different things, but they're not going to then be the next legacy for the next set of males. And because of this then, males all of a sudden become less of males and females become more male. This is why you see all these masculine females running around. I mean, this just appalls me, the masculinity in a lot of these females. But I can understand it. A, because the males have become so feminine, they've had to do it. Single mothers, single parents, things like that. And B, they've been brainwashed by society, movies, Hollywood, all this, the colleges, all this nonsense. And I'm in the colleges, I know. I see it all the time. But the thing is that you have to understand as a male, your job is still to provide and protect under your creator's guidance. And that's what you need to follow. And because of that, you have to continue building up your energy. So transmuting it. Even if you're going, like in my case, it's over 1,500 days. I can't remember exactly what it is now. But I think we started this when I was almost a little more than 4 years ago now. Right? So when we're talking about this, the energy is building up, and I could see it in my development, my body now. All of a sudden, my goals, all the things, how many times I've gotten sick, all these type of things. You can see that because of the benefits of holding in your energy. Now, I wish I was able to do this, 40, 50 years ago. But this is a good time as any. And I hope to live to a long time because I'm able to do this now. And so I passed this down in all these videos and things that I'm doing. I think we're over 900 videos or something like that. And just trying to talk about this so that more and more people see it. The last video I think we talked about why the hell are people actually not talking about this? Well, they don't want to talk about it. They don't want to admit it. They don't want to admit they've been brainwashed. They don't want to, the media doesn't want to admit that because they're going to be losing money. Think of all the money people are making on Viagra and, sexual dysfunctions and all this pornography and all these things. Not that you can probably get that stuff free, but you also can pay for a lot of it too. And all the wild behaviors people have. And by the way, all these behaviors are also connected to other things like gambling and drugs, overeating. All these things are connected. They're all self-abuse types of things that people do. So as you continue to build your energy up, you're becoming stronger and stronger. The best way to conquer a country or a city or a town is to make the men weak. Other men can come in and they'll just take over. This happened whether you're talking about Napoleon, Caesar, Hitler, no matter what it is. You're talking about people who tried to build a strong enough army because they thought the other side was weak. The men were weak, right? In this case, the Americans were weak in the last couple of wars we've had, right? They're weak because of temptation. And there's been cases where, especially in like prisons and things, where they put women in there to try to, get the men to calm down and to become softer. And women do that. Women can create more softness and more empathy and allow you, especially if they're going to take your energy, whether taking the physical energy or the mental energy, stress level, they're going to take that from you. And men are very good givers. So men will give it to them. And because of that, women tend to become more masculine if it happens a lot. Males, on the other hand, tend to become more feminine. And you have to be careful of that. This is why we talk about the only time you should ever release. And I thought I should have known that I should have been able to follow this for 47 years, but I didn't. So I'm probably the last person to talk about this. But now over the last 4 years, much better type of situation. You should only release if you're procreating. That is why the Bible talks about this. This is why we talk about this so much, because that ounce, that little energy you're losing, that's part of you. That's part of God in you. If you think about it that way, and you think of the women you're involved with, with being your mother or sister or his daughter, you're not going to look at them the same way. A lot of this is the mental part you're playing tricks with to go ahead, have an affair or have a relationship with somebody. You've got to be strong, and you got to be able to say, I'm going to hold my energy. I'm going to build myself up. I'm going to continue to build the energy around us. And I think the Maromaraster is talking about here, talk about the fact that we have to continue building up because we have to always be on guard. This is why the battle is never won until the last day. Because every day you're building your energy up. You never know when the devil's going to hit you or try to attack you. Could be for all angles. But the key is going to be that devil is going to throw things at you at different times to see if you're going to be tempted. This is why the longer streak you have, the more you're building a good habit, the more you're building a bad habit to be able to stop that and to control that behavior. And as a result, you become stronger. And so when you're tempted, you're going to resist the temptation. It's almost like you got that helmet on, that battle shield on, and you're going to kind of knock apart that devil temptation that's coming at you. Now, the devil will try different ways. The devil knows your weaknesses. So does God. So God's going to try to protect you, but the devil's going to probably sneak every so often, whether you have a temptation of greed, whether you have a temptation of women, whatever it might be, the evil one's going to play on that. And you have to be careful of that. And this is why we talk about being stronger. So Maromaraster has a great point here. He talks about the fact that we need to conserve our energy. Build it up. Because you never know when you're going to be attacked. It's almost like an army. You're protecting a city. You never know when you're going to be attacked. So the stronger you are, the stronger you have ability to protect yourself. And there's one more thing too, warriors. If you start getting stronger and stronger, people become respectful of you. The more you're on retention, the more respect you get. And that's because women and men can see you're controlling yourself. And they feel your energy. They see how strong you're getting. They see how you are reacting. And so they become more respectful of you. And the chances are they're not going to attack you as often if they have that high level of respect or fear. Because they're probably not going to win. They're going to end up attacking somebody who they think they can win against, of course, right? But if you're strong, if you keep, working out, if you keep chasing your goals, if you keep making money, if you keep focusing on your betterment each day, no matter if you're 63 like me or any kind of age you're at, if you continue to build yourself up, there's going to be less and less of a chance your enemy, your opponent, is going to basically go after you. Because they're going to be scared. They're going to be scared that they may end up losing, and that gives you a high deal of respect. When the Lord talks about having fear of the Lord, we're talking about respect for the Lord. And the same thing, respect for you. But because the Lord is in you, it's important to understand that as you build yourself up more, you become stronger and stronger. And as you become stronger and stronger, people respect that more. And they're going to respect you a lot more too. So I think Maromaraster, great comment, great point. We haven't talked about this for a while, but you have to get on that idea of holding in your energy, transmuting it, not releasing unless you're procreating, and basically going ahead then and saying, how can I use this energy to fulfill my goals, to follow God's purposes, to keep doing things, to make it worthwhile. All right, my friends. Well, I hope you guys have a rest of a great Sunday evening. I'll try to do one, like I said, busy week, My daughter's getting married this coming weekend. My middle daughter, my oldest one, is already married. So my middle one is getting married. So hopefully after that, things will settle down a little bit, and I'll be able to kind of do a couple more during the week. But right now, I'll try to get one more done if I can during the week at some point. But until then, I always leave you with two things, guys, on this wonderful Sunday evening. Don't forget to pray and meditate to your God and Creator. But two things. One, every day is a new day to a great warrior, and you guys are each great warriors out there. And number two, guys, as we said, the reason why, as you build this energy up, you have to always be on guard. Even if you have victories, that's the biggest time to actually go ahead and watch out for, because the enemy can attack when they think you're let your guard down a little bit. And that's what we're talking about. Do not let your guard down. Build your energy, because we have to always continue to go on! Take care, my friends. Have a great evening.